Welcome to Entrepreneurs and Leaders, and today we have Jeff as a guest. He's a business coach. So Jeff, tell us, what are the 5 steps to become a great business coach?
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
Man, that's always a great question to lead in with. I think one of the things that we can't overlook in just the business coaching world is experience. One of the things you're going to find with me as you get to know me is I teach off experience, not education. I entered into the business world. I don't have formal education. I went to high school, but I was committed to learning and figuring out processes. Part of that for me was digital marketing and computers and technology is something that always kind of come easy to me. So I was able to make some quick gains in the small business world just off my ability to understand technology. I may not have understood the concept and all these things. So earlier on was just my ability that was my strong suit. So that was one thing that I could bring to a business was my ability to just embrace technology and help a business understand technology. That springboarded me into marketing, human resources, all the other stuff that comes with running, owning a business and all those like-minded things that kind of go in together, right? So when you look at that, it's just finding an expertise or an area that you can focus your skills in. Now, with that is, I was really good at technology, and I was fortunate enough to land in business around the time, if you remember when social media marketing was starting to become into the market. I understood Google, AdWords, all that stuff. So I ended up working with some mentors and someone that could help me take all the skills that I knew on the technology side and then deploy them in learning more of the on the technical side of just the digital marketing framework. So I hired some coaches, learned how to do that. I understood the terms, I understood all those things. So that in it alone helped springboard me into kind of the stuff that I do now is helping people make sense of their business. And a lot of times it's teaching their teams how to be effective marketers, how to be, how to grow their business through external marketing that we're able to use. So that's probably the first thing is approach everything with a learning ear. But here's probably the biggest thing that the best coaches have. They have a teacher's heart. I was always fortunate enough that I enjoy teaching. I enjoy speaking in front of people. I enjoy conversations. I enjoy all those things. So one of the other things I feel like you need to have when you're getting started is you just need to be a good teacher. You need to be an instructor. I need to care about your business just as much as I do my own. And you'll see that with some of your best communicators, some great teachers, being a good instructor. So those are some skills that you can develop. You may have some of the best ideas in the world, but if you can't get in front of people and present it, then we need to go work on that skill. You need to go to Toastmasters. You need to go take speaking courses, things along those lines. Another thing, probably the second thing here, the build off of that is you'll hear a lot about niching. And I worked in an industry of where we sold car trailers, things that you could put your race car in. Some of them range from $2,000 to $150,000, just depending on the usage and what the customer was looking for. But that was a very niche industry. Marketing wise, it all kind of the message is the same. We're always just trying to amplify more of our client's message. But when you look at niche, trailering is a very, very niche industry. So if you can, coming out of the gate, probably one of the mistakes I made was I tried to cast a wide net, meaning I tried to say, you know what, I can help everybody do this. And the problem when you're trying to help everybody is you're helping no one because your message is so broad that no one is hearing you. So if you can really dial in your message to a specific industry, it helps you just grow your reputation, helps you grow who you are and what you do. And then I touched on this in the first thing, but third thing is just developing basic coaching skills, right? Is no different than your kid's ball team or whatever, is being able to take little Johnny who's never swung a bat before, have him walk out and get a hit. It's very fulfilling from a coaching standpoint. But using that into the business side, being able to communicate, being able to talk to business owners and explain to them without getting frustrated. Explain to them what you're trying to accomplish. So you can do that through just developing a specific type of coaching technique, or you may have an acronym that you want to follow. I worked in public safety for many years, so we were big on acronyms. There was always an acronym for everything. So rolling out some kind of framework that helps just association.
Acronyms are very good, so people can remember things easily, right?
Yeah, it just helps you. I did a talk the other day, Harry, on pivoting. Someone said, Jeff, will you come in and help us just work on how to learn how to pivot inside of our business? And so the acronym was pivot. And it basically, I boiled it down into pivot. First thing is problem. I can't remember. I have to go back to my notes to find it. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, so just so everybody that was in there was like, this is the first time we've kind of heard someone talk about it. Everybody will say the word pivot, but no one really helped identify which item. So it came down to like the last T was just test, and you go back to the first P. So from the T, you go back to the first P, and you can constantly reoccur the training and the mindset just to help you identify problems inside of your business. So you're able to pivot before pivot becomes a thing, right? So, I think one of the things that I spend a lot of time on in my calls today have been working with business owners and their mindset, is helping them. A lot of your new business owners, they got into business because they had a good product or they had a passion. Once you get in there, they realize that there's just as much resistance sometimes to accept them into the business world as it is for them to find success. So just working with them on helping them find balance in their life. And it's either you're where you are. You're either at work, you're at home. Balance is a hard thing to find. And the only way you really create a lot of balance is you eliminate unnecessary things. And then helping them foster this mindset of just getting rid of a lot of the negatives and finding direction, so when, like, a big mistake an entrepreneur makes is they go to bed foggy, and so they wake up foggy. So when you go to bed with three things that you need to accomplish. First three things you want to do tomorrow, have them on your calendar, have them wrote down, have your team prepared for this. When you leave work, or you leave your entrepreneur, whatever that might look like, when you leave today, have a plan for tomorrow. Don't just walk in the blind. And then I think as a business coach is meeting folks like yourself, is having conversations like these, just redefining your skills, just building trust, building rapport, letting folks know that you exist and to the problems that you solve is, I think some of your best coaches never quit learning. They're always learning. A great example of that, Harry, is I was traveling in the holidays around Christmas for vacation, and I would go into different restaurants or business or whatever, and I would watch how they do things, or I would see something, and it immediately applied to one of my clients. So even though it's the holidays, I'm like, I grabbed my phone. I'm like, hey, I just saw something here. We need to jump on a call. I got something I need to talk about. I just watched this happen. And they're like, absolutely. So we'll jump on a quick call and just,
you can see everything. Yeah, you can see everything. You see where every time you go to a business, you can see how people are operated and the customer service. You pay attention to everything, and if you see something that you like, that could be beneficial for your clients, right? Also, sometimes you think, exactly, things that you like, things that you don't like. Absolutely.
I've had those calls before where I've called someone and said, listen, if I ever hear this in your business, it's going to disrupt our working together because this is something that you don't want to witness firsthand. And I said it was beyond a cringe moment. So, that's one of those I just don't think we can put enough emphasis on never stop learning. Sometimes when you're in business coach, you think, oh, my business owner is going to figure everything out and they'll no longer need me. Man, I've learned there's always problems to be solved. And
At the end of the day, yeah, and at the end of the day, you see, the most successful people in the planet, they do have not only one coach, several. They have coaches for specific goals. They have fitness coach. They have business coaches. You will find out that the successful and the wealthy people, they are the people that more mentors and more coaches have, and that's strange because they are very wealthy. They supposed to know it all, and still they understand that the power of coaching and mentorship. And you see, every athlete that win a gold medal, the first thing that this athlete will say is, "Thanks very much. Thanks to my coach. Thanks to my mentor." So why do you think that there is so much resistance for entrepreneurs, startup founders, or even companies that they think, well, I don't need a coach, I don't need a mentor, I can figure it out by myself, and maybe they can, but this trial and error is tiring and it's very expensive because you fail, you try again. And specific in skills, for example, you shared with me before the broadcast that one of the things that you specialize is in goal setting, which is huge in terms of to growing your business. Yes, sometimes even the goals might change, and you have to adapt to it. So, what do you think that why do you think that we find this resistance between the entrepreneurs and the business coach?
I was talking to someone the other day, and in the restaurant business, and we were working through some things.
Oh, that's a hard one, the restaurant. Oh, God, tell me about it. I had once, I lost 200,000 pounds. That's a hard one to pull off. Yeah, but
here's one
in
of the
my view, people
It
like
is.
to cook.
It's tough.
They are chef and they love food, but let's face it, it's a business that you need to have a lot of skills. Okay, tell us what happened.
No, you're absolutely right. Or you got to be willing to go and find help, right? And this is high end dining and cocktail
Wow.
type art. So they had the opportunity many years ago to hire a coach, and we were talking about power of coaching, time collapsing, right? I'll get into this, but here was kind of what he said. They had someone who wanted to come in and work for them to set their bar up, to set their bar program up, to do all these things, but they wanted $40,000, and they were like, it's an expense, we couldn't do it. And he was telling me, he was like, if we'd have paid that 40, we'd have made 75. You get sticker shock off of the cost of working with someone, but the whole goal of that coach is for you
To make more.
initial investment is to collapse time, so your path to profit. The problem is most of your entrepreneurs that are coming out are either strapped by budget, they don't see the value. They've got Google. They've got friends who are telling them they don't need it. So versus going and making an investment with
But the friends that they don't need it, they are also broke. I don't think that the friends that the friend that have a coach, this one is gonna be wealthy, and this one will tell you need it. Your broke friend that is not making any money, this one is what is gonna tell you don't need a coach.
They're non-business friends most of the time who tell the business owner all the good things they are, which is great. You need those friends. You need that support network. Those are powerful moments. The difference is the friend is spending your money, right? So when you look at that, I think sticker shock. So if I was going to give advice to someone, whether you're paying $500 or you're going to pay $50,000, what is going to be the turnaround on your money? And whether you're going to come to and work with someone like myself who's got tons of failures, just failures, but also lots of successes as well that we're able to teach off of and that you can learn from. The biggest thing a coach allows you to do is collapse time. So your path, if you spend in 40, you spend like my example I was giving with my friend, $40,000 coming out of the gate would have made them 75 within the first year. So huge return of investment. You don't have to, instead of figuring out things, you're working with someone who's already figured it out. Those are your.
If you get that wrong, you see, in this environment, in the high end, in the luxury, if you try to do it yourself, it maybe might cost you 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And for save 10, you are missing out, and someone that had done several, that have the experience. You see, if coaching was not important, I don't know if you see these TV shows. There's one TV show in US that one guy goes to all the bars and the restaurant, they're not working, and he turned them around. He changed the brand, he make new products, change the menu, increase the quality of the food, do a little bit of marketing, and turn them around, right? So there is a reason why the experience is important. It's a vehicle that, and you also need support. I think that entrepreneurs think that, oh, if I bring Jeff as a coach to my business, he's gonna tell me what to do.
Right.
And this is not what a coach is. And Jeff is gonna push me. He's gonna tell me what to do. My employees is gonna think that he's the boss. And entrepreneurs make the whole story in the head that that is not even true. Actually, if you're a good coach, the entrepreneur will come itself with what he has to do. You just have to create the right questions, the right framework, and if you lead them and you create that environment when you ask the right questions to your person that you're coaching, he will, by himself, he will come with the solution. Actually, this is when the real transformation comes, because Jeff, you're gonna tell them, okay, listen, you have to do this. Sometimes it's completely different ball game when you said, okay, we have this problem, what do you think? We have this problem, what do you think? We have this problem, what do you think? Okay, any way that we can improve this? And the guy said, oh, you know what, I could do that, blah, blah, blah. I said, there you go. This is your job as a coach, not to exactly being vulnerable. Yeah. But at the other hand, you see the surroundings, you see the friends, the family. Problem with these surroundings is that the only one that is operating a business is you.
Yeah.
So everyone, I'm telling you because I was the first entrepreneur in my family. My grandpa was an entrepreneur, but he died when I was a kid. So no one in my business, not either mom's side or that side, have any business ever. I was the first entrepreneur in my family. And boy, you see, my mom, every time that she hear that I'm gonna expand the business, she's like, "Don't expand, no expansion, leave it as it is. Why do you want more?" This is my mom, you see. And then my dad is like, "Do you really can make money out of this?" So, and then your friends, "Oh, he's crazy," or I don't know, this guy is always be crazy. So you hear, and a lot of people in your family are very concerned. I study chemical engineer, then I'm doing my own business. Then, so you have a different. They give you advice. Don't get me wrong. I actually have,
your mom wants you to be safe.
They want to save, and then my dad also want to protect me as well. But then my dad coming, I'm running the business, and he coming to take me advice about my business, yeah, which is a good advice, by the way, because he want to protect me. And then I don't take the advice, and then a coach like you with experience come give me the advice, then I do it. Then my dad is getting angry because I don't listen to him and listen to you. And I'm still 20 years. It's taking a lot of time. It's taking a lot of time to understand that the weight of the value of someone that already doing the business, a coach that already achieved this success in the decision making process of myself, weigh even more that his advice, regardless that I know this is my dad, regardless that I know that he want the best for me. He never had a business before. He never operated a business before. The way that he see the problems and the thing, and they can handle the thing, is completely different what I'm facing, right? So it's not that I don't take his advice. However, if he give me one advice, and then somebody else that already an entrepreneur, a business coach that already have achieved success in this area, come and give me the same advice, I'm taking this advice more seriously, more. I put in more scale because it's coming with someone that is qualified to this advice. Nothing wrong with my dad. I love him, and I know he's doing great. So in fact, he's getting upset because he said, you listen to everybody but me. So it's not the case that I don't listen to you. That if you would be.
Was your dad in business?
Say again?
Did your dad own a business?
He was, yeah. He was working in my businesses. Yeah, he was helping
Has he
out.
ever owned a business? Has he
No,
ever?
no,
Yeah, so
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
So
saying. Nothing to do with that and so on. If my dad was a serial entrepreneur and he come to give me the advice, of course I'm taking
yeah,
in consideration. But that's not the case. Yeah.
and we're
So
culturally obligated to respect their opinions, right?
exactly.
Right.
So it
It's
become a
father,
conflict, the
son,
final
father,
son and
son.
everything. And then goes worse when a coach come and tell me the same advice, then I do it. Then why you listen to him? You don't want to listen to me, and you do understand. And then you got caught in this crossfire, and it's hard to deal with it. Yeah, and it's not that that I don't love you. That's not because they take it personally. Anyway, Jeff. So, but bottom line, if you are in business, yeah, you have to listen to everyone, but you have to be careful way that you give to the advice, because the people have to be qualified to give you the advice. If somebody qualified give you an advice, this is an advice. If you want to make £1 million business, yeah, and somebody that have make £1 million business before give you an advice, well, uh, is it have more weight in your decision making process than someone that want to give you an advice and they love you, whatever, your family, whatever, but then never make $1 million. Same with the goal setting, right? Somebody one can give you an advice, a good setting, but then Jeff, you one of the things you specialize in this one, and then exactly the process that you can get entrepreneurs like you share with me. Some of your clients, they already making millions following your goal setting process and things like this. If you have already a process that work with a track record and you give an advice about goal setting, that's that have more weight that somebody unqualified saying the same thing. Do you understand what I mean?
Do you ever bring your dad into your coaches meetings? Do you ever try to get him any development?
No, in the end, I'm telling you, this was maybe like 15 when I started my first business, the property business. Well, no, when I started, the business was running autopilot, yeah, and then he came and he got excited about the business and he was working. So of course he was inside the business, seeing the whole operation, so he knew everything, yeah. And I was out of the office because the business was running autopilot, yeah. But anyway, I think that this is a challenge that we face as entrepreneurs, right? That we do have to learn how to get quality advice from mentor and coaches that qualify. So, what's your opinion on this, Jeff?
I think you touched on a lot there. Family dynamics inside a business can be tough, right? I think, and we touched on it as well, just family dynamics, but then culturally respect for your dad and his opinion and his values.
To the point that can go and say, to make himself right, he can say, don't listen to Jeff. He only wants your money.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? And it's difficult to deal with all this. And you try to explain, no, he's a mentor, he's a coach, this is his job, he has a track record.
I would think about hiring him his own coach too. I would think about whether it's listen, Harry, you could hire him a personal trainer. And he wouldn't think about it as a coach, but a personal trainer is a coach. That's what they do, right? Is they help you just make sure you're walking, accountability, all those things. If you were working with me, I'm going to check in every day and I'm going to hit you with like, hey, how's the revenue? Are we focused on our task? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? But then I'm also going to say, you've been drinking your water. Did you get your walk in today? Are you going to the gym? Are you eating your protein? All the things that come into, what, just depending on what the program you're in, but I would love to see your dad working in with a coach as well in some capacity. I think that would help. He does sometimes too. When you look at that, Harry, is sometimes your coach helps you develop your personality, or it helps you reach in and cultivate better relationships. And I teach on that about, one of the things I think a coach needs to do is they need to be a really good cultivator of relationships. And helping your dad with that might be something where we could just increase his proximity, because here's what you're going to find. Your dad's probably operating inside of his own uncomfortableness, right? Because he's never worked he's working for his son. His son's his boss in his mind. So there's a little bit of element of where he's just uncomfortable as well. But I think when you lean into cultivating more relationships, and I think when you look at where you get to where you're going, if you'll go back, and most of the time you're going to find key relationships that help you get to that first million or whatever you're working on, is you're going to be like, I was stuck until I met this person, right? And I think you'll find that too. I'd love to see your dad. I'd love to see your dad starting off with his own coach to see how that meshed in with your plan.
That was a lot of fun times, when he was working in my business. You see, this was a lot of fun. So, but again, is what I'm saying is, and the entrepreneurs out there listening, they might have these challenges, and but they have to deal with it, and also to them honestly to listen whoever is qualified for it. Have nothing to do with your dad or your family or your mom. If that person finds, some of them they increase the revenue dramatically. They're making millions, right? So that is a proof that the coach know what he's doing. So you have a track record, and the biggest problem that they have. Yeah, go ahead.
I think your other thing that you could touch on there, that I think here's what I'll tell you. I've helped people start family businesses, and we've started them.
Wow.
And one of the things that we do is we don't just start a family business and everybody walk in and start working. Everybody's got a job, and they have to treat it like it's a job. And when they walk in, their family hat has to kind of be taken off, and they have to understand that they're all there to do a job. And here's why I tell you that. I tell you that because I've also helped families dissolve family businesses because they didn't come in with an entrepreneur mindset. They had no structure. They had no organization. And every family business is going to be fine, and everybody goes all in, and it's going to be a family business. And there's one factor that will change that, and it's money. And once they see any kind of money come into that business, they want to know where theirs is at. And if you've done nothing to put in any kind of structure or any kind of just pay, whatever, but that's the mistake that I see a lot of families make, is they try to run it from the family side and not the business side. And if I'm going to employ my family today, everybody's going to have a job with KPIs. They're going to have duties. They're going to have their own area that they need to cover, and they're going to have somebody that they report to, or they're going to be the boss and they're going to be reporting up. And we're going to have business meetings, not Thanksgiving dinner. Otherwise, we're going to work on dissolving and having a business dissolve plan that is not that wasn't the goal, right? The goal was for us to set out and build a family business, not to. So starting out of the gate, if you're building a family business, is you have to. If I'm going to hire my dad, which I don't know my dad, if I'm going to hire my son to come in and work in my business, he's going to have a sheet with job duties, a report, all the things, and that's how it's got to be handled. Otherwise, it's going to strain he and I's relationship.
Yeah, and this is a topic. Working in, for example, I work with my girlfriend, meaning that she owns several businesses. I own all the businesses. But we are together, and then we help each other out. And I think that having the relationships, family relationship in business, it's not like people say, "Oh, don't bring family to business." I don't think so. You see, I did have the challenge to this with my dad, but there is something that I had very positive, is that my business was running autopilot. But one of the things that gave me a lot of peace is that my dad was around, so I could fly. I could fly for 3 months, for 6 months. I don't even need to take any phone call or anything. I knew that daddy was around, and so everything is taken care. So having family in the business is not like it's bad if you think. It's at some points, right? You have someone that you can trust. You have people that they want to steal from you. They won't allow anybody to steal from you. Yeah, and this is priceless in the business. But at the same time, again, they want the best for you. They want to look after you. They want to give you advice. They want to become your business coach without being a business coach. Nothing wrong that they want to help. However, again, this is a principle that I have, that I learned with my experience. Because you know what happened when you get an advice that somebody qualified and you take it, oh, things can go wrong. Because they just don't know. They don't have the experience. It's not about instinct when it comes to coaching. Right. And I think that the biggest problem that the industry of coaching have is like people go there and they say, oh, I'm this coach, I'm this mentor. Yeah. I can, a lot of people, yeah, I can help you to become a multimillionaire. And by the way they're talking, you know that they never see a million in their life. So you're ready. So the problem is that, a lot of people, rather than find a good coach like you with a track record, with experience, a lot of entrepreneurs, they go for the shiny object. They go to an event, they see someone on the stage saying, I can help you to make millions. This is how easy it's going to be. This is, you see, somebody doesn't have track record, somebody hasn't achieved anything, and then they go buy into this, they have a bad experience, and now all coaches are bad.
Right.
Do you understand? And that unfortunately have a huge impact in the coaching industry, which is something that I think that is not required. Is, in my opinion, mandatory if you want to grow your business fast.
I think you're spot on with that. There's good coaches and there's bad coaches. Instagram's probably not the best place to find your coach sometimes, just because there's a lot of noise on there. There's a lot of made up.
I agree with you exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of made up material. I can be whatever.
And everybody find the coach there. They have a bad experience. They take the money. They do very little. And now all coaches are.
I think that's and you got to find that right mix and the right person that can complement your business, right? Can lift you up and not pull you down. But the other thing I think, Harry, is the best coaches solve your problems, not the ones they think you have. Right? I think it's just how you communicate with each other as well. And this, if you came in, we would sit down and just kind of take an overlook at everything. And your best coaches are going to tell you, all right, you want to get to $1 million. You want to get to 5 million. This is the path. This is the plan. This is all the things that you need to be doing to help this come to life. And it's not a magic wand, right? There's a little bit of just time and growth and all the things that goes into running that business. And it ultimately depends on the business to what the outcome is going to be. But I think when you sit down is setting, like you mentioned, goals, but that pursuit of riches and happiness and the Lamborghini and the jet may not come immediately, right? We can set the goal to get there. I'll teach my kids, Harry, that nothing's unattainable. Nothing's unattainable. If we want to get to the moon, we got to work with people who build rockets, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all about building the team. It's all about the package. It's all about doing. So don't ever think that people will say, "Well, that's not." Don't preach on stuff that's not attainable. If you came to me and you're like, "Jeff, this is what I'd like to do," we would sit down together and figure out. All right, you want to get to the moon? All right, these are the key people we need to hire. This is the budget we're going to have. We're going to need this, and this. And this is our first 3-month strategy. Let's figure out the rest, right? Or the rest of it we can build. But I think we overlook that sometimes too, is the power of our key people and building our teams. And you can get to wherever you want to go with the right people.
So Jeff, tell us, if somebody's in love with our conversation and want to find out more about you, how can they find you? How this process work?
Oh man, I would love that. I love Instagram's probably where I hang out the most. Dad, I go by my name over there is JeffRabason. Jeff Robertson is my Instagram handle. But then if you go to jeffreyrobertson.com, which is my name, jeffreyrobertson.com, you'll find my website, contact links. I speak. I do some motivational speaking, have workshops for business. I tailor a lot of my stuff toward whatever you're looking for, but just tons of expertise, and whether it's in all things business, and then we kind of niche it down and tailor it to what you're looking for. But if you go to jeffreyrobertson.com, you're going to find everything you're looking for, and you can schedule a call with me there. So I appreciate you letting me put that out there to everyone here.
Thank you so much. And for all of you listening, following Spotify and Apple or in our social media, see you in our next episode of Entrepreneurs Are Leaders, how brave entrepreneurs like Jeff create businesses to make the world a better place. Bye for now.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.